Welcome back to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac, president of Roby Electric, along with Trent Haston, president and CEO of the Roby family of companies. Trent, we're sharing a mic today, man. I'm going to try not to hit you with this thing when I slide it over. But we're doing that for good reason. We've got two great guests on, Graham Worth from Common Market and Matt Young from Roby Commercial. What you think about that?
Let me hold this mic. Why don't you get as good at running a business as you are flexing on me on the radio? No. Matt, Graham, welcome.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Matt's been on the radio. Matt heads up. He's the president of our commercial division, Roby Commercial. And Graham is the president? Partner of the hottest grocery store? Is that what you
I'll
calling
take grocery
this
store.
thing?
Yeah, sure.
It's a urban convenience, modern twist on a general store. I read his website.
That is correct.
So it's a very timely show to have you on because I know this week you had a grand opening of one of your stores and then you're working on some stuff in the pipeline. Why don't you give us an overview? I'm not a hipster, so I don't know. But
We prefer hipster, millennial, and there. You know, we were talking to someone the other day. Went to a neighborhood association. Someone described it, and the guy raised his hand. He said it's kind of a market for hipsters or millennials, like you just said. And this 55-year-old guy raised his hand. He goes, "I'm not a hipster, and I love Common Market." And I was like, "Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to hear." But it's basically we're kind of coining the phrase deli bar because it's confusion, and that's what it is when you walk into a Common Market. There's stuff everywhere. It's kind of an organized chaos. But it's a place where you can come get wine, beer, kitsch toys, do some light grocery shopping, and generally kind of just a place to hang out for the neighborhood.
kids' toys, huh?
Kids' toys and some mature toys, but it's we've got a lot going on. Like you said, we're opening a new store this week over on Monroe Road between Sharon Amity and Wendover. It's been deemed oak-walled, which has struck up a little controversy. And then we've got another project we're working on in South End on Tremont that should be open hopefully late this summer.
Hold on, I'm slow. Oak-walled, which is Cott's enemy? Cotswold. Is it Cotswold's enemy? I don't know. Are they buddies or enemies? They're frenemies.
We looked at it. We were trying to figure out a new. They're frenemies. It's two separate neighborhoods. We decided to combine them because we're kind of right on the edge, and we never realized it would cause people to get upset as they have. But Blake Barnes, the founder, said, you have something good when people are getting ticked off by the name of a new location.
Is that mainly the residents getting ticked off, or business owners, or?
It's mainly the residents, and it is a minority, and we've explained that we're just trying to be welcoming and encompassing of all neighborhoods. We don't want to alienate one over the other, but.
So they're upset that they didn't get the full-fledged 100% name.
That is correct, and there has been talk
that
we're just going to have a sumo wrestling bout in the parking lot. One participant from Oakhurst, one participant from Cotswold. You got to bring your most recent mail, and we'll just let them duke it out for the actual name.
Well, Patrick can be your Cotswold representative.
I was about to say I don't sumo wrestle, Graham. So we'll have to find. I'll do my best to recruit for the Cotswold side of things. But as a person that lives in Cotswold, I'm embracing Common Market in that space, and I think it's only going to tie the neighborhoods together. As you mentioned, it's in between Wendover and Sharon Amity, which is an up and coming area. Oakhurst.
Yeah.
Is a great neighborhood, and I think that the more that it ties to Cotswold, the better both neighborhoods will be.
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on in the area. It's a very easy way to get into Uptown. I think there's a lot of development that's going to kind of continue, and there are some great local businesses that are already there that have brought people out there for years. There's Hearth and Patio, Banner Nursery that I see tons of people kind of drifting to the area, to visit them. So I think we'll only kind of add to what some other people have brought to the area.
So how did you get into this niche? I mean, how did this all come about? I heard you're a Carolina boy.
I am a Carolina boy.
There you go.
Twice over. And I was in the world of banking and finance, working in a cubicle, worked in New York for a while and moved back to Charlotte and wanted to do something different, wanted to get involved with the local business, and met a friend of mine at Common Market. And we had coffee there, and I was kind of explaining to him what I was looking to do. I looked at a lot of different businesses to try to get involved with one, and he said, I know the owners of this guy, and this was right when South End was announced that it was closing down. There's a big to-do about it. And so I ended up meeting Chuck and Blake. We call it speed dating of sorts for 4 to 5 months, and then we ended up partnering up late this summer to open up these new stores. So, I mean, I have zero deli bar experience. You know, I'm learning all on the fly, but it's been an awesome experience so far.
So this is your second store.
Yeah, so we have the one in Plaza Midwood. That's been there for 14 years. It's not going anywhere. And then this, the one in what we're deeming as Oakwald will be open tomorrow. This weekend. And then we'll also have South End, which will be the third store later this summer. South End was open, for 7 or 8 years.
And you, Matt, you guys are working on Roby Commercial's working on some planning for the South End store. Is that the deal?
Yeah, that's
Some
correct. We were kind
pre-construction?
of brought in through a mutual friend of ours, and we kind of helped out with the pre-construction process, kind of helped him with the finding and selecting an architect. I don't think he went with 2 of them that I brought to the table. Hope that doesn't ruin our chances of working with them. But we were there for the pre-construction process to help him out with budgeting purposes.
And I'll say Matt's been very helpful. He came out, to look at the site with me. And when you're dealing with a lot of these older buildings at South End, it's not new construction. There are a lot of hurdles that you have to consider before you even start some of these projects.
Which is a niche that, we're old Charlotte folks.
Right.
Our building across the street from WBT is the old Biltmore Dairy building. We've rehabbed it. We're going to rehab the front of it hopefully later this year. We own another property up the road. So, we talk all the time on here about how we like to keep cool buildings and show their characteristics. I'm joking about being a hipster. I do have on kind of skinny pants
Kind of. They're definitely
that I got from the sporting gent, so I can make fun of you all I want. But we just finished up rehabbing an old building. Matt, you want to say it opened a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, that's Queen Park Social. It's a very similar path that Graham took too. With Joe Laracy, kind of got in the banking industry and worked his way down from New York and started out as a restaurant owner, and it was kind of his first gig in that too. But also hitting on Graham's new location, it kind of offers you some unique design options over there compared to what you have in the past, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a large. We have 7,000 square feet, and 4,000 square feet is a prefabricated metal building. And I am not a creative person, so I needed to kind of rub some people in to figure out what you can do to make a prefab metal building actually look decent. So
It's not easy, is it?
no, it's not easy at all. So
And Graham, you're talking about the new Monroe Road location, not the South End location that with the 7,000 square feet. Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm
just wanna make sure the
referring to
audience
South
is
End as
clear.
7,000, but the Monroe Road is 6,500. So it's
6,500.
a lot bigger.
There used to be it might even still be there, like a laundromat that was sort of right there on the right. That's sort of the space that you guys are taking up.
We are right beside
the
Duds and Suds.
Duds and Suds,
It
that's
does
right.
not have the alcohol element that Duds and Suds would imply. So it's almost the perfect person beside us, because you sit there for 2 hours and you're saying, what am I going to do while my laundry dries? So.
I know what they're going to do now.
Right, exactly.
Well, so what you did, and this is a prototype for a younger generation than I am. You go live in purgatory for a couple of years up in New York,
That's correct.
and you bring back a lot of money.
I am a retired investment banker with no money, so if that makes sense.
I just wanted to pick on you.
But I had a come to Jesus moment. I was sitting in my office in New York, and it was April, and it was probably 2:00 in the morning on a Friday night, and it was snowing sideways, and I was like, you know what? Where I'm from, I could be golfing tomorrow, so I'm out of here. I can't do this anymore.
Well, this is fun. Graham, Matt, would you guys stick around for another segment with us?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, we'll be right back on At Home with Roby. Stay tuned.